All right, this is the beginning of my little bonus project from the baby quilt project. I have squared up my half triangles, squares, and they come out to be exactly 2 inches square. So here's the ruler. You can see it's 2 by 2. So what I did is I cut some 2-inch squares out of these scraps that were left from the quilt as well. And what I'm going to do is make some 9-patch blocks. And I have enough to make, 2 blocks. And now see, you could keep these 2 blocks and perhaps utilize them in make 2 pot holders, or you could use them in another project. So we'll set this one out too. And since I have pressed the seams flat, I'm just going to make sure the corner ones like this needs to turn, because I want, and this one needs to turn, I want the angles to run this way on them. Let me finish this up. And see, there we go. So now my angles all go like this, 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 and this. Let me double check this size. There, 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 and there. And what I could do is sew these up and then choose one of the fabrics out of the set, and I could make a back for it. And I have some binding actually left, and I could put a little bit of cotton batting in, and voila, I'll have pot holders. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make a couple pot holders. So let me sew these together into 9-patch blocks, and then I'll press them, and I will come back and we will make a couple pot holders together, all from bonus squares from a previous project. Always make bonus squares. When you're going to trim away triangles, go ahead and add another seam and you'll have a bonus squares. Be back shortly. I've brought these over to the machine, and I'm now going to sew them together. This block is actually, I do believe, called a churn and dash block. So I'm going to sew them together as they are, and I will then look for some of the fabric to see if I can find some squares this big, and I will turn these into some pot holders, I believe. Here are the blocks all sewn together, and I've decided I'm not going to make pot holders. I'm just going to save these in a box with some other bonus blocks from other projects, and then eventually I'll have enough for a table topper, a pet quilt, the edge on a pillowcase, that kind of stuff. So these will just be bonus blocks to have on hand for a special project later on. And that's what you can do with those little triangles that you trim off. And you can even go even smaller. I've cut off and sewn the cutaway triangles on smaller pieces and ended up with like 1 or 2, 1 or a half an inch little blocks, and they look really cute. And you're just making them as you go along, so you're not struggling with tiny pieces to sew together. The smaller pieces, if you sew them together into blocks like this, you can make doll quilts. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus from the baby quilt project.